It is something about enlightened.
This is Wisdom and Flow, not just a name, but a sacred movement, a soul awakening, a call home. We are here to remember that we are more than stories, more than skin, more than survival. We are divine identities, coded in stardust and soulfire. We live in the alignment with the infinite, in rhythm with ancient wisdom, and in harmony with collective purpose. Our mission, to reveal the Christ within, to awaken the God seed in every soul, to equip a new humanity for sacred, relevant, and impactful engagement across every sphere of life. Here at Wi-Fi, love is unconditional, trust is a frequency, faith a force, and power flows where truth lives. This is Wisdom and Flow, where the divine rises and you remember who you've always been. Stay connected with us to live aligned, love deeply, and flow divinely. Our core values are divine love, radical oneness, conscious awakening, and transformative service. We believe that all of life flows from and within the universe's divine essence. A loving, omnipresent, and inclusive presence expresses fully in every soul. Each person is a living temple of God, and our sacred practice is to see and express the divine in ourselves and all of life. This is love in action. We affirm a unified world where no one is excluded, no soul is opposed by darkness, and no power stands outside of love. We equally believe in the urgency to awaken humanity to the good news of their redemption, a divine invitation to rise from an inferior expression of life to the most radiant, attractive, and abundant life possible. Our calling is to embody this truth and co-create a reality where spirit flows freely, purposefully, and powerfully. And now wants to go through this evocation to God. Father, Mother, God, the embodying presence of all life. May the forces within me now become adjust and attentive to your divine prompting, that I may always be awake to the power of your spiritual presence. Father, Mother, God, with my entire life, into conscious union with you, renew me daily in the spirit of love, forgiveness, and fullness of joy. From this body temple of me, in which you live, let your goodwill shine forth from my aura, redeeming, consecrating, and perfecting all I see, touch, and relate with. All of the holy thoughts of my Father, Mother, God, take up the wings of the wind and the flash of lightning, minister as angels to my soul. God, you are the light, the power, and the eternal blessing. In you I live always, and to you be all glory from the center of the universe, within the vastness of my soul. I evoke thee to come forth, O God of all life, all wisdom, all power, all love, and all splendor, to flourish in my laudable undertaking. I am one with thee, O great spirit of spirits, because the fullness of you embodies my soul. Let your power, love, and presence shine radiantly through me, guiding all my ways and divine ambition to reveal the brightness of your day. Abiding in the center of you, most adorable God, my will and courage are energized by your dream of beauty and power. My ways are filled with holy influence as they give expression to all your divine attributes within me. In union with you, and as your power always works through me, nothing in the entire universe opposes my good. All things work for the fulfillment of my will. The spirit of the air is ministering the life presence of God to me, renewing my soul, mind, and body. The spirit of the fire is ministering God's transforming and transmutating grace through me, making me bright, and I absorb holy learning from pain. The spirit of the water is ministering God's restoring grace for my life, and I'm ever purified and reborn with the fullness of the God presence. The spirit of the earth is ministering God's stabilizing love in my soul. In the fullness of my Godhead, I'm radiantly perfect in the midst of the elements. I successfully create my will to the glory of God. O God, the flame of your divine love and wisdom purifies my mind and will, and you become the health of my soul, mind, and body. All of life is assembled, working for my highest good. My life is becoming the never-ending, ever-revealing glory of your mighty, magic presence. I take authority over my life and bless every condition I go through to reveal the greater good in my life. To you, O Father, Mother, God, who is the ambassador to my soul, with all praise and glory throughout ages. To you, the might and power without end. Amen and amen.
If you're talking, you mute us, okay? Still not coming through.
Can you hear me now?
You have to mute one.
You can hear me now, Rev?
Yep.
Sorry about that. I think the kids done something to the phone, so I was trying to do it on the computer, and then the sound wasn't coming as well. So I had to switch back to the phone and then manage to get the sound back on. So, all right. God bless you, Joshua. And in the same spirit as we were, welcome every one of us, beloved soul, into this sacred space of peace, purpose, and divine alignment. I want us to begin the service by gently closing the eyes and allowing our bodies to soften. As we do in this household, if you are in the position to plant your feet on the floor, on the ground, wherever you are, release yourself from all mental noise. Release yourself from all chaos. I want you to take deep breath in and slowly exhale. And again, I want you to inhale deeply. And release once again. And with every breath as you take in, I want you to remember that you are receiving the very breath of life. And as you release, you are setting yourself free from any mental noise, any anxiety, any fear, anything that is holding you hostage, bondage. and emptying yourself. Now we allow ourselves to drop from the mind into the heart space, becoming aware of the sacred presence that is always here. This is the presence of pure spirit, divine intelligence, the infinite one by whatever name you choose, God, source, or divine love. I want you to also know that we are not here seeking to become spiritual. We are here remembering that we are spiritual beings having human experience. And in this remembrance, we realign with the truth of our being. We are not here to get something. We are here to let something emerge from within. So we open ourselves to the divine download, to inner guidance, to truth that liberates. Right here, right now, we acknowledge that the one life, perfect, whole, and complete, is expressing through us, as us, and in us. I speak these words of truth, knowing that the presence of spirit is alive in every individual in this space, online and in person. Each one is here by divine appointment, ready to be uplifted, expanded, and renewed. We release all sort of limitations, doubt, or fear. And we all affirm, I am receptive. I am available. I am aligned with the highest good. I want us to reaffirm again. I am receptive. I am available. I am aligned with the highest good. In the spirit of divine entities bearing this work, we welcome transformation not just for ourselves, but for the collective soul of humanity. We open this service with holy expectation that transformation is not only possible, it is inevitable when we surrender to divine will. Now, in the vibration of this sacred intention, we enter a moment of stillness. Here beyond words, here beyond thoughts, is the source of all. Here we listen not with our ears, but with the ear of the heart. Let the still small voice guide you. Let divine love embrace you. And as we return from stillness, we bring with us a renewed awareness of our purpose. We bless this service, every speaker, singer, and soul that will share. We affirm that this time together is sacred, powerful, and transformative. And so we all say together, Amen.
Oh. Bless. Last week we started with the mystical power of peace. And we want to continue this week. And we'll see if we can add the last one, fleet. Yeah, we can wrap this up by next week. What did we touch on last week, please? What did we touch on last week? Last week.
Can you hear me, Rev?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, good. I managed to sort my thing out on it. Okay. Were you asking a question?
Yeah.
So I was trying to sort out my audio.
What we touched on last week, yeah.
Well, I was chipping. I think last week I wasn't here, so if I don't get it right, you I wasn't here, but that's not an excuse anyway. We've said it a lot of times, so we can't use I wasn't here as an excuse anymore because I had the whole week to listen. And to be fair, if you are not here, it's even an advantage for you. But then you get to listen to it again and again. You know, when you are sat there and you are listening, sometimes some words, some phrases will escape you. So if you don't go back, but if you are not here, you should be able to give a better recap. Last week, I would say it was amazing. I was enjoying it while listening to it until you talked about origin and you got me a bit confused, but I had to restart it and watch it again. It was a beautiful one. I've listened to it, I think, twice. Prior to that, you did say something which I believe. And I very much agree with you that for what we are doing here, for us to be able to come the following Sunday and remember, the word has to unionize with our soul. It has to become us. It's something that we ought to practice, and it is true. What we teach here is life-changing messages, mystical powers that empowers us. It is not a textbook sort of messages that you need to go and read and then come and pour. It doesn't matter how many times you want to watch the video. If the word doesn't become you, you won't remember. That is something that I have realized. And so bless you, sir. We are gradually getting into the space where The word is dwelling among us. It has become flesh. Because He will dwell among us. So forgive us when the recap is coming late. We will get there. It was a wonderful one. I love the recap you did. You said with the kids about the story of Judas, which I myself never thought of it that way. When we talk about Judas in the Bible, it connotes negativity. It connotes betrayal. I've never heard anybody called Judas. Nobody wants to name their child Judas. But when we look at it from the Christ-like point of view, know that Judas was the Spirit of God that reveals and brings secret things to life. I don't think God saw Judas as we see Judas. Because while Judas was a bad man, he betrayed Jesus. Without him, we wouldn't have been where we are today. And it's something that I think the Christian circle have not taken a keen look. It was a good one. So back to the hidden law of mystical power, the life of peace and power was basically touching, was it the ninth? That's the ninth Beatitude. Blessed are the
It's the seven.
seventh, yeah. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. And rightly, as you were saying, in the Christian circles where I grew up from, till now or till last week's message, I would have always interpreted, and I've preached it before, peacemakers are those who bring peace, those who negotiate between people who are fighting. You are the guy in the office who, when two people are not talking, you come in and then you try to make them talk. So you go, you listen here small, you listen there small, you try to make them reach amicable decision. So it's always more or less peace being something that is outside of us, the intermediary. But last week message told me something, and he did make the statement that was profound. That peace is a threshold where human consciousness crosses into divine consciousness. That was the pinnacle of all that you said. All that you said, the tougher is what is the statement that you made. When human consciousness, the threshold where our thinking crosses into the state that we have to be or who we really are. Because all that we are thinking, all that we are seeing is as per the things that we know or we have been taught or society is throwing at us. And so we are trying to make people reconcile based on the things that we know how to do best or how we expect the society to be. But when we get to that place where our human frame awakens to our divine essence, as you said, when we cross that threshold where we become aware that this is who we are, I think that is what peace is. You did also talk about the fact that peace is not a condition outside of us, but it's a frequency of consciousness. When you said that, straight away, a verse came to mind. What Jesus said in John 14, my peace I give you, not as the world giveth, I give unto you. I've explained it. I love that verse a lot, and I used to say it a lot. There is peace in, I do say that there is peace in driving a Lamborghini compared to the car I drive now. Not saying my car is not good, I love it, I'm content. There is peace in sleeping in a big mansion as compared to where I sleep now. There is peace in being able to wake up today and say, I'm going to Ghana this evening. Let me go to the airport and buy a ticket without having to buy it ahead of time and checking days, Saturdays, higher than Friday, comparing. There is peace in that. When you have, but there is peace. But there's a kind of peace that money cannot buy. The external The things outside of us cannot give you, and that's what Jesus meant. And that is the peace you experience when you assume your divine essence. And so you are right to say, when our human frame awakens to our divine essence, when we become aware that this is who we are, this is what we ought to be, when we assume that state, all the external things become insignificant to us. You don't care whether you have or you don't have, you have peace. I remember many years ago, I was walking to church when we used to live in Tidworth and was drizzling a bit. I didn't realize I was walking. When I got to church, Debbie was driving. She said, Deacon, I saw you. You were walking and you were smiling to yourself like you were happy. Why? What's happening? I said, really? I didn't realize. I didn't know. I didn't know I was smiling. I mean, at that moment when I was walking, I was just content with myself. There's that sort of contentment that I had gotten to, that nothing could ever replace it. So when our human frame become aware of our divine essence, as you said, also you did mention about the fact that peacemakers are not necessarily people who negotiate between two warring parties, but those who harmonize the visible world and the invisible world. Those who translate and transform discord into divine order. And that starts from you and from within. When you are at peace with yourself, I remember you said that you cannot, the reason why the world is not experiencing peace or we are not seeing peace is because many of us are not peaceful enough. We are not finding peace within ourselves. I can only give you what I have. Because I don't trust myself, I don't trust you. And all these issues we are seeing or we are having with people is as a result of the things that we are seeing of ourselves and the troubles that we are having within ourselves. If I have peace in myself, if I have peace within, if I feel content within me, if I trust myself, I'll be able to transpose that same feelings to you. So all the war that we are seeing around, all the chaos, all the disagreement we are seeing is because there's no point. We don't have peace in ourselves. People don't have peace in themselves. People don't trust themselves. If the whole state of US, for example, have peace, everybody have peace, nobody is thinking evil of the other, there won't be a nuclear, the US won't build a nuclear weapon. But they know that China wants to do, they are thinking evil of China. China wants to do something to them, so let them prepare. They also prepare. We are always preparing against somebody because we know we will do it to them. When you first find peace within yourself, find peace with everybody and anyone that you come across with or you cross paths with. You talked about a few things that makes peace elude us. One being anxiety. When you read Ephesians 4. One being the fact that we don't appreciate the moment. When you're too anxious, you cannot find peace. Lack of appreciation for what the moment presents, you cannot find peace. When you have appreciation for what the moment presents, regardless of what it is, all things work together for good. So though seemingly bad things are happening, but you're not seeing bad things because you have peace. And I remember you said that a peaceful person is one who finds unity where there's fragmentation, where people are seeing disunity and war and chaos. You are seeing unity. Yeah, I think that's what I can remember, Rev.
Thank you. I think you said it all. You have. Continue the same vein, and as I said, I want us to harmonize the remainder. Blessed are the peacemakers, blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Blessed are ye when men shall revile and say all manner of evil against you. Rejoice and be glad. You run in tandem. In fact, that last one is not really a beatitude. It sums up. It sums it up. So the actual 8 is about the last one. You can add it to make it 9. That's kind of sum up everything he says there. Last week, in fact, no, this week I put up a video, a clip that Lydia Zanzad preached on libation. And I was quite intrigued by some of the comments that I was reading on Facebook and also on TikTok. Now, the bulk of what she said, even though it was on salvation, it was on libation, that particular segment, I did analysis and I realized half of the time she talked about salvation and the remaining half, she talked about honor for ancestors and linking it to the fact that when you despise, the tree that forsakes its roots die. The flower that forsakes its root doesn't blossom. And linking it to the fact that if you, as a parent, if you awaken a part of your children to dishonor the other half, which is the other parent, what you're doing is destroying something in the child. She blended 2 very powerful thoughts in there, but surprisingly, everyone's or majority of the people who interacted on the video had their thoughts on libation, and I felt that quite sad. I felt quite sad about it, and that tells us how deeply ingrained. Or I'm not even going to say how deeply ingrained. It shows how effective this programming has been, how successful this programming has been, to bring us to the place of labeling everything that is African as evil, fetish. It's quite sad that people are even, or for some people who may even take sides or agree to an extent with what was being shared for fear of public opinion, lacking the balls and the confidence to agree with that. You see? Abraham went to war, murdered thousands, spilled blood. You call him your father. Your great-great-grandmother used a bit of witchcraft to take away some people who she considered as threatening. You call her evil. What's the difference? Whether it was by sword or whether it was by African electronics. You believe your ancestors are wicked, they are evil, because their hands are soiled with blood. But you go to church and you pray for your enemies to die, and you call yourself righteous. Such folly of ignorance. The arrogance of ignorance, I call it. It's insane. You inaugurate buildings, you dedicate children, you pour oil on them, you pour oil on the floor, My great-grandfather poured schnapps on the floor. Yours is sacred and holy. What's it called? His is demonic, is devilish, is fetish. Something wrong up there. The oil and the, what's it called it, and the wine, don't they come from the same source? Wake up, my people. You go to church and you take communion, you pour the wine into your body, which is F. Another pours it on the ground, which is still F, and you think that yours, you drinking it, is holy. Him pouring it on the ground is fetish. You're crazy. There's no other way of saying it. I touched on this. I keep making reference to it in the lesson that I've done in London. And someone got back and he was like, you've really opened my eyes. Why are we still thinking this way, oh Africa? Let my people be free. Let my people think. Let my people wake up. You forsake your roots and adopt the roots of another. My great-grandfather could is evil, but Abraham, Isaac, and what's it called, Esau they are holy. I don't know them from Adam. I don't even know whether they were real humans who existed, but I know my grandfather did. I've got evidence of his existence. I should forsake him and adopt someone that I never knew in the name of religion. Where did we get this wrong? When your scriptures talk about the fact that you are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, cheering you on and you looking onto them, that is not ancestral worship. But when we honor and we invoke the spirit of my ancestors, that one is fetish. Crazy. Let's wake up. In my generation, I say this with all humility, we will awaken people, we will cause people to wake up and think. That is the mandate of this generation, and we cannot forsake it. If you are afraid to identify, join the women. So each of these Beatitudes that we have been looking at in the past few weeks, they aren't rules. I call them frequencies of consciousness. A movement of the soul towards itself. That's why we are treating them under the secrets of mystical living or the secrets of mystical power. And the focus for this week and the next, as I said, will be on the peace that surpasses understanding we touched on, the freedom that is born through our innate and divine righteousness. I love how Brother Ishmael defines peace as the identification, the activation, and the release of innate potential. How true that is. When you are at a point where the deeper you is being unleashed, you feel serene and you feel at peace. Every time you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, every time you feel like you're missing the mark, you get agitations on the inside. True or true? True or true? So to be in peace is to be in alignment with the creative harmony of the universe. And I cannot overly labor on that point. The peacemaker is not one who suppresses conflict or one who douses it, but one who transforms chaos into present. That is what the Buddha calls samadhi. Stillness, presence. Where we become so present that opposites dissolve in our awareness. The peace that surpasses all understanding, the womb of power. Well, watch what the Lord will say unto his people, for he will only minister peace to his people. The voice of the divine is peace. The voice of God is silence, as Rumi says, and all others are poor translation. I love that. In Kabbalah, I've said this a few times, peace corresponds to the Sephirah or the Tiferet. The balance between mercy and judgment. The Christ center of the what they call it, of the tree of life. So he says to them, my peace I give you, not as the world gives. My peace I give you. I remember last week, Rayben did ask if there are types of peace. And I will attempt to, I will attempt to, that was your question, wasn't it, Brother Eben? I recall I said I was going to start from there. Yeah. And I will attempt to say this, but just from amongst us, do we think that, do we think, or I would say, do we think there are types of peace? Are there? From anyone who hasn't spoken this morning? Would you say there are types of peace?
I don't. For me, I've not heard if there are types of peace. I've not heard anything like that, so I don't know. I don't think there is. Peace is peace.
What was the question? Are there times of peace?
Yeah. Are there? Do you believe there are types of peace? Are there types of
Wait, types or times?
type?
No.
Okay. Right. I thought keenly on that question, and from a very holistic or generic perspective, I'll probably say the same as I say love is love. The same token, I'll say peace is peace. But I thought about it, and then, not in an attempt to make differences or bring separation or introduce distinctions in there, I started to look at peace in terms of these three, I can't even call them categories, I can't even call them types, but they are, if you want to call them facets, peace. We have peace of mind, peace of the heart, and then I loosely came up with what I call the peace of the soul, just based on my understanding into Ek traditions. the peace of mind, obviously, we're talking about the silence of thought, where one hits thoughtlessness, or thoughtlessness hits one, where the chatter of the mind is stilled and what we call in metaphysics mental equilibrium. Have you come across that in your teachings, mental equilibrium?
Please, we are still in primary school, so we haven't reached there yet.
Okay, well, you will reach there, because I think that is it's something that X talk about a lot, and I think Rose Christians also teach that in metaphysics.
I think I'm sure I've seen something like that in there.
Yeah.
But it's not been taught in details yet.
So the balance, the essential balance between reason and intuition. That's my definition of peace of mind anyway. When you have a balance between intuition and reason, you have peace of mind. Your mind is going to be at peace when your reason is not fighting what spirit is saying. Where your analytical mind is not fighting the voice of spirit, you have peace.
I think it's still the same as the statement you made last week, which says is one who is peace is one who is enjoying the unity between the internal and the external consciousness. I don't know.
Yeah. Because what robs us of peace of mind is that conflict. You know, when you are the junction, or when you hit the junction where heaven and earth coincide, you are at peace. See? And quantum physics talks a lot about how the mind coherence. So that's why I taught to also say, so if there is peace of mind, then there must be peace of heart as well. And the peace of heart, like you can define that as the quiet joy of our emotions. So like emotional harmony. When one is in control of their emotions, when our reactions are replaced by love and understanding, when the waters of our heart become still, Rumi, in one of Rumi's poems, he makes reference to this and calls it Sakina. Okay, that's divine tranquility. That showers or envelopes the heart that is at rest in God. You have the heart, you have the mind, and I can also say that we have a piece of the soul. This is something I've not done extensive research into, but it kind of hit me when I was thinking about your question on on Sunday, and I'll say that is the eternal calm of our divine identity, the summation of it all. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou may be in health. What was it called? To be in health and prosper, even as your soul enjoys abundance. So that has got nothing to do with your emotion. It's got nothing to do with your conditioned state. It has everything to do with your being itself. The calmness underneath the current. The fullness of all that is. I've been studying a lot of the Gnostic, what was called the Gnostic Gospels, and I came across the word pleroma, which describes the fullness of all that is, You know, and I was saying to someone yesterday that Gnostic Gospels were rejected not because they were heretic. No, they were rejected because they believe they will make their people, they will awaken people and put people beyond control. And that's exactly what is happening. There's a page I'm on Facebook that is dedicated solely to the doctrines and the teachings of, or the gospel according to Thomas. And some of the insights they are just quite mind blowing. You know, and you I'm like, how can anybody say this is heresy? No, it's because it frees you and it leads you to you. It opens you up to your own awakening. And a system doesn't like it. The awakened soul cannot be controlled. So let's feed you with that which will make you feel that you are inadequate, you are inefficient, you are not enough, and you need something higher. You need something beyond you to make you full, to make you complete. I was thinking of this morning. That's why I shared what I shared. You don't need new knowledge. You only need new eyes to see differently. You only need a new mind to think differently. It's not about knowing anything new, no. Because that mindset is constantly making me question my answers, and it's making me come, that is bringing me into new insights. So I'm seeing this always been, but now I'm seeing it differently. I can no longer think of it the same way that I've always used. You know? The archist will refer to it as the state where your soul goes beyond the dualities of the mind. That's what Jesus refers to as a peace that he gives us, not as the world gives. So on the token of that, what's called, I'll say that when all these three, mind, heart, soul, are one, you are a peacemaker. You become the mirror through which the divine recognizes itself. You become the space where God enjoys itself as you. For today's session and for next week, our focus will be on presence, inner peace, and freedom. We started with peace, but I'm just thinking these three, you can't really separate them. Okay, it's presence that births, or that brings, or that kind of enforces peace. And once you embrace the peace that presence brings, you live limitless, you live free. It's a trial.
Can I quickly share something?
You're gone.
As you're speaking and going back to the question, I was thinking that if we say there are types of peace, or if we put peace into types, then I think we'll be making peace an external, we'll be making peace external. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
Yeah, we're separating ourselves from peace. I think, as you said, it's peace starts from within us, in the sense that whatever we are doing, if we say, oh, I need peace of mind, or we need peace, who is the peace for?
Peace.
The noise, or what is it? It's for you and within yourself. So if we need peace in this country, that's because that peace is for how we are, is for us, our temple. What is not for anything outside. So I think that peace is just one. If each and every one of us, imagine everybody in the world having that peace, that understanding, that peace of mind, it will obviously affect everything else. It will affect your finances. It will, because whoever is deciding how much people get paid, will do a better job. The government will do this. So it all starts from each and every one of us, because we are the ones who make up the world. Without us, there is no, systems, there is no world, even the earth wouldn't exist. Yeah, so I think we cannot separate peace, and we can't have types of peace unless you're saying, peace in my home, peace in the country. It's all one person, it's all us. Yes.
And I agree. That's why I said I'm only attempting to highlight how it affects the various facets of our being, heart, mind, soul. It's still a divine unit. I think do we have time to touch on the passage to freedom, that's persecution, or we have time? So what is persecution? To the mystic, what is persecution? What is persecution? Is it someone clapping you for no reason? And someone trying to bully you? What is persecution? Someone still here? What is persecution?
Do you want the legal definition, or you want what we think persecution?
What do you think persecution is? And that's why I said I was quite specific. What is persecution to the mystic?
Well, from what my understanding of persecution, I'm not sure is the same as what's the actual or the definition means in the dictionary. For me,
we are not having a dictionary discussion here, so
no, at the end of the day, it still means what it actually means that gives meaning to.
So what is persecution to the mystic?
To the mystic.
I've said that like 3 times.
Okay. For me, that one I understand, to a Christian, if I can say. The persecution to a Christian. So I believe in Jesus Christ. I've become a born-again Christian.
I'm not a Christian again, no.
That's what I'm saying, to the Christian. Is and then you are being your family say, yeah, you cannot go to church anymore. They feel persecuted.
Okay.
You're going through suffering because they are being persecuted. But the actual meaning is the institution and conducting of legal proceeding against someone in respect of a criminal charge.
Right, Jay, you're muted. You saying something, Jay?
Is it persecution or prosecution? Wait.
Persecution.
But isn't that like not racism necessarily, but hating on being hostile towards someone due to like religion or race or sex, things like that?
Yeah, you can say that in another breath. Yes, Samuel. Josh has spoken, so you have to speak. Oh, he spoke for the two of you. It's probably going to run away because I called him. Are you saying anything, Gay? Or I should carry on?
Now go on, sir.
Okay. So when someone criticizes you, can you call that persecution?
No, criticism is not persecution.
So me that for years people have been bastardizing me as being against the church and all of that, can I call that persecution?
No.
No. You are a critic.
Okay. So when you are on a particular line of belief and your family dissociate themselves from you, can you call that persecution?
I won't call that persecution.
Okay. And you persecute yourself?
I think you can.
In what way?
I think when you how do I explain this? I don't know if it's right. It's more or less the heart is saying something, but the mind is saying something else. You did say something about the video that you posted. There are many who support what you posted when it comes to libation. There are many who are enlightened, who know that what is happening is true. But for fear of public persecution or public, sayings or tagging them in a certain manner, they won't be able to stand firm with what they believe in their heart, what they know is true. In that case, I think you are persecuting yourself. You are doing yourself more harm because you know deep within yourself, this is the truth. But you can't boldly stand with it because of what people will think of you or how people will label you. That's not people persecuting you, but you are persecuting yourself. If people disagree with what I believe, that is their business. That is them. But if you believe that thing, but you are not able or you don't have the confidence to say because of what you think people will say about you, you are persecuting yourself, not people persecuting you. That's what I believe. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think to me, I think we use the word persecution wrongly. I think because of the history of it. Back then, when the Christians were being charged and persecuted, these ones they were actually taken to court and put in prison. You understand? So using the word persecute, it should be when you're being persecuted, it should be in a court.
No, it's not that is prosecution. That's why Joshua was asking. That is prosecute. This is persecute.
Persecute. Are they two different words?
Yeah, they are not the same. You can check.
Okay.
Prosecution is not that, and that's what Joshua wanted to confirm. Prosecution is not persecution. Persecution is different from prosecution.
Okay.
They are the same.
I always thought it was the same.
Oh well. Now you see differently. Okay, so just as Pastor K was saying, yes, I believe that because when an individual feels harmed by themselves, that is self-persecution. And how does it come? Self-blame, guilt, or even physical harm done to oneself, neglect. See? And
so then I think I'm always persecuted. Persecuted.
By who was awful?
So it's and I think that is the worst form of persecution. Often when we think of persecution, we think it in terms of someone doing it to us, but it's what we do to ourselves. The reaction of the old world to the new vibration that the movement wants you to embody, fighting within you. And every time you make an effort, so Paul says, Paul's persecution came into, is a good example, because when he talks about the fact that there was a thorn in his flesh, you know, humans, people, it doesn't mean there was a bone in his body, you know, people who were constantly opposed to the cause of good that he stood for. And when he came to himself, he talked about the fact that with me, it is the will to do good, but when I want to do good, the evil that is within me fights against it. And it's the story for the majority of us. See, every time you feel need, or every time you feel called to live by a higher, what's it called, by a higher law, by a higher order, your lower energies of fear and separation instinctively resist it and they fight you. You can't live with and to your convictions, because you have already concluded that if I do this, people are going to say this. What are people going to do? What are people going to say? And then you are battling within you, and you are living a lie to yourself and feeling unfulfilled, and your peace ever becomes elusive. Because of previous experience, you have already concluded, if I do this, if I do that, if people see me in this way, if people see me in that light, they are going to think that of me, this of me, say this of me, and I'm going to feel this way, that way. You concoct all these stories, and then you depress yourself. I recommend this book to all of us, Mastering the Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Great book. Changed me years ago. It resonated with me instantly when I started reading the leading pages. I'm like, I want to know more. You know, and I realized people will eventually leave you alone. I'm telling you, I can promise you that. They will leave you alone. I was saying this to someone yesterday that, well, nobody, can you surprise yourself? Carl Jung says that nobody, like you cannot wake up today, I'm going to surprise myself today, I'm going to do something today that surprised me. That is already premeditation, then, so you cannot be surprised by it. And I was just saying that I was like all of this week I was thinking, is there anything that I can ever do that people will find surprising coming from me? And I was just trying to make a list. I kind of struggle. And I felt that was a good place to be.
Not necessarily.
I said I felt that was a good place to be, where there's nothing that will come out of me that will
you can do something that will surprise me.
Every day I'm friends with the crowd. I want to live a life where everything you wait in there is small.
You can do something to surprise me, Rev. When you talk to us for 2 minutes without insulting him, that'd be a surprise to me.
Why do you say that's not a good thing? I was just thinking about it yesterday. That I honestly think that should be my ambition, to come to a place where there's nothing that comes out of me that is ever a surprise to anybody.
I think that should be subjective, because if as a wife.
You are now you are now attempting to live my life for me, you see?
Yes, because you should do something. If it's a negative thing, I should be surprised. Hey, I shouldn't be sitting here and saying he can do anything. I don't know if you get what
The Bible says you can do all things through Christ who strengthens us.
this is not Christ that is strengthening you. The thing is negative. If it's a negative thing, and you said some people don't get surprised, they do. Because I remember we talked about this video last week of the teacher that was called into the office of the headmaster, and they said, "Oh, you know this is in the
In the code of
regulation,
ethics.
code of ethics," and say, and you did it, and say, "Hey, me, I'm surprised." You see, so he's surprised. He's done that.
Anyway, no, anyway, I think we're gonna have to pick it up from there and stick. Yeah, that's an interesting. But genuinely, I was thinking about it in the last 3-4 days. I'm like, is there anything that I can do to surprise myself? Is there anything that I can do for me to? Oh, I'm really surprised I did this, and I was struggling to make a list. Maybe that's not good. It probably also means I'm at too many areas bits. I don't know. I was just thinking. Yeah, it's self-introspection, isn't it? That is there. Yeah, just do that exercise and see what you can come up with. Yeah. What is it? And the point is, the moment you can come up with something that I think, like psychologically, the moment I can come up with something that I think I can do that people will be surprised, that tells me that I'm living a double life in that area of my life. Yeah. Subconsciously. If I can identify something that I think if I do this, for me to even think that I can do this and people will be surprised, that means that might be an area of my life I'm living a double life. Yeah.
What you're saying is too. I don't agree with it.
And to assume, okay.
Don't worry. I can't want you.
You know, and often and I can say this confidently. The sort of things that people do and people find surprising are things that are considered scandalous. Apart from that, what is? What is? Apart from that, what is? So all these surprises are also determined by our conditions, our traditions, our cultures, what we find societally acceptable. You see? If someone becomes a millionaire overnight, where's the surprise? People are becoming millionaires all the time. The moment you find out how they did it and how it happened, the surprise ceases. If someone becomes a millionaire and they won the lottery, okay, so where is the element of surprise?
I'd be surprised if I came and told you I have 120 million. Hey, you will shout. You'll be surprised.
The surprise. No, I'm not talking about surprise in terms of the instant. But the point I'm trying to make, you think about it. What is surprising about someone winning the lottery? It's something that happens. You understand? Maybe the surprise will probably be, hey, so now I'm a too. That will probably be the surprise. You understand? But the fact that you won the lottery is not a surprise because the lottery is meant for people to win. You understand? And people are winning it. So where is the surprise?
So surprise is more or less like people's expectation of you then.
Certainly. I'm first saying to the crowd, I really didn't expect this of him, then they are surprised. But if they know he can do it, there's no surprise. You understand? Anyway, I think we need to take that as a subject on its own and treat it. I think it would be interesting for us to go deeper into it. But it has been on my mind the last 3 days. Right, meditation. Are there any questions? Any question? Is there any question?
So the persecution part, blessed are they that are persecuted for. So what does it mean by being persecuted, as Bible says? Because from what we are saying, from where we come from, and by the persecution that we know, and it's mostly for Christians. Anybody who's against, not even use the word against Christianity. You're not against anybody who doesn't agree with how we do our things at a particular point is persecuting us. And the persecution is mostly in a Christian circle. I don't think my grandfather will come, bring a shinap and kushia and then go and stand at Tesco and pour libation. But we think we can go and stand in the middle of Tesco and preach. So if somebody comes and say, now move away because this is not your territory to preach, we will call it persecution. So we Christians, we are some people are always persecuting us. We go and stand in a Times Square somewhere and just mount our speakers and be preaching. And they will come and tell us, you can't do that here. Say, oh, the UK don't like, gospel, they are persecuting, people are preaching, they are persecuting them. But our grandparents will not come because they know their places, they know what to do and where to do it. And so we call anything and everything persecution. That's what I want to understand. If Jesus is saying that blessed are those who are persecuted for my name's sake. So somebody will say, oh, I went to preach at Tesco for God, for Christ's name's sake, and they sacked me. That's persecution.
No, he said for righteousness' sake.
But I'm being righteous. I'm making Accra. I go to Tesco, making Accra, and then people are sacking me.
For righteousness' sake.
Oh, we leave that for next week.
Yeah, no. So yeah, and if you recall, that's why I brought it in. The conflict. When your inner conflict, what was it called? Your inner convictions of truth conflicts the appearances on the outside and the perceptions of people, the perceptions of people. See, when you are attuned with the divine within, all the reactions and other resistances to that can be seen as persecution. Okay. Let's welcome ourselves the lives of the divine expressions that we are. Take a slow, deep breath.
Yeah.
Feel the gentle rhythm of your own breathing. With your breath moving through you, not through effort, not as effort, not via effort, but as grace. Enjoying the gracious movement of breath within you, air that is animating us. And with each inhale is the entrance of spirit. And with each exhale, letting go of everything that no longer serves your peace. Just take 3 deep breaths in the stretch. Entrance of spirit, the entrance of life. And exhale and letting go all that no longer serves your peace. Now as you do, I want you to bring your attention inward. Bring your attention from the outer sounds of the world of the inner sanctuaries of stillness. Whatever sound, whatever noise you've got in your background, in your surroundings, experience the harmony with that, with the stillness within. You are now in the temple of presence. The temple that has no walls, that has no roof, that exists in the boundless field of awareness, the very awareness that you are. And as you are rested in this place, feel the subtle stillness beneath every movement. Same stillness that was before creation. Silence from which every sound arises and returns. What the mystics call the peace of God that passes all understanding. The Buddha calls it nirvana. The place where all reactions are extinguished. Shalom. Not mere peace, but wholeness, soundness, completion, divine balance. Feel this wholesomeness and this wholeness now. Experience it as the quiet radiance that spreads throughout your body, through your mind, through your heart, through your emotions, through the entirety of your soul. Every thought that arises as is a wave in this immense ocean of peace. Watch the waves rise and fall, even as you remain as the ocean, vast, unmoved, unshaken, still. Now bring your awareness to your heart. To the seat of divine knowing. Not just an emotion. The center of subtle, soft, natural, eternal, divine light. The very heart of God within you. In fact, just place your hand on wherever you believe your heart is. And listen. Feel the light, the door that opens to the light of the God within. Feel it fling wide open. And experience the expansion of the light. First within your chest. It enters and floods your entire body. To the extremities of your body. Now you are the luminous intensity. You are the transparency of this light. You are the infinity of this light. Every boundary dissolves. Every fear begins to melt away. Here there is no outside or inside. There is no in or out. There is no him or me. There is no them and us. It's only presence. The oneness of all. And as you're having this compassion upon your soul, I want you to whisper inwardly. I am the serenity of my thoughts and not the storm. I am the sky that holds my thought. I am the stable underlying current and not the waves of my emotion. I am the table of soundness underneath all my emotion. This is inner peace. It's not the absence of conflict, but the revelation of your divine nature, that which cannot be shaken. It's your essence. It's not something you have achieved or attained, but it's who you are. Now feel this peace as freedom. Vast, infinite, unbounded spaciousness. No one can give you this. Therefore, no one can take it away from you. You are the only one who can give it away. It's the freedom of your soul. The one who is at peace, at one with the Father. The freedom of the one who knows that I and the Father are one. Allow this truth to echo resoundingly within you. I am free because I am presence itself. I am whole because I am one with God. I am peace because I am beyond opposites. I am free because I am presence itself. I am whole because I am one with God. And I am peace because I am beyond opposites. Keep resting here. In this space beyond name, beyond definition, beyond time, immersed in pure awareness, luminous and serene. From this place, from this space, from this presence, from this center, begin to gently send out the peace outward. Everywhere you find yourself, see this peace emanate, see it emerge strongly. To loved ones, to those who misunderstand you, to those who oppose you, to those who criticize you unduly, to all beings, to those who appear difficult to love. Let this peace ripple through your consciousness by the sunlight across the sea. And now see the entire universe shining within you. Each soul, each life, each being. Lovingly expressed in the vastness of your own being. Now take one last deep breath. And as you exhale, feel yourself fully here in your body in this moment, perfectly aligned with all that is. And gently, softly whisper within your heart, I am, I am, I am. I am peace. I am sure. I am serene. I am free. So it is. So it always was. And so shall it forever be. I want you to gently touch your left nostril and the right. Feel the differences in sensation. And when you're ready, bring yourself back to where you are. Thank you. End of session. O Father of blessed mortals and immortals, you who have specially created powers, who are marvelously like thine eternal thought and adorable essence. You've established them superior to the angels who announce to the world your wishes. Created us in this third realm and rank in our elementary empire. There our employment continually is to praise and adore you and your wishes. Where we incessantly burn with the desire and aspiration to possess you, O Father, O Mother, most tender of all mothers, O admirable archetype of maternity and pure love, O Son, the flower of suns, O form of all forms, soul, spirit, harmony, the number of all things. We adore and celebrate you. Amen. From the center of peace, purity, love, serenity, and joy, I bless you. I bless you. And God bless you. Amen. Shalom and life to us.